Welcome back, wayward children, to my humble hovel. Let's get you back in touch with your roots, shall we? Now, I know I'm not dressed normally. This is a little bit more of a casual video. I wanted to talk to you guys about some potential content coming up, and I wanted to ask a question. Now, before you click away because you think this is going to be a boring informational video, hear me out for the next 60 seconds. There are a lot of really incredible lores and mythos that are written in the modern era. Now, I mean that in the last 100 years by means of fiction, and I love a lot of these stories. Some of them are what sparked my passion to come back to storytelling after I left Ireland and left my grandfather and my uncles. I love these stories, and they're actually what inspired me to write my own stories. Now, a lot of people want me to publish my own books. I'm not quite confident enough yet in that to do so, but you can read them, at least some of the stuff that I've written, if you're in my Discord, if you are interested. Now, that being said, I write primarily science fiction and fantasy fiction. That being said, there are some really incredible things like Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering that have a deep and rich lore. Stay with me for just a second longer. And there are even books that go into the entire backstory and lore for these things. Now, I know a lot of people don't ever approach Magic the Gathering or D&D because it's intimidating and it's hard to understand, and there's sort of this detachment between the game and the player. So what I want to do is give breakdowns of the stories of Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons. I want to give details on the stories, and if you guys want, even the cards. I don't think I'll do anything on how to play, but there are a lot of really beautiful art and backstories and flavor texts and characters and worlds that so few people know about because they just don't ever think to look. But Magic the Gathering especially has a long and vibrant and rich history and mythos that I would love to share with you guys. And if that is something that you're interested in, I would appreciate you guys liking the video to let me know, or leaving a comment. Comments and likes are how I gauge whether or not you guys want the content that I'm going to be doing. Now, regardless of what the response to this video is, I'm going to do a couple of, we'll say, short story time videos on the origin stories of the planes in Magic the Gathering, as well as the characters and the history. Should be about a 10 video series. They'll be very brief, very short. I might even do some ranking videos of the best characters or the best powers and where they come from and so on. But I want to get more into lore and modern mythology, what I call modern mythology, which is modern fiction. And the reason is, when I started this channel and when I started making content in general, I always wanted it to be about storytelling, and I kind of forced myself into the niche of only talking about myth and lore of old cultures. And while I do love those things, I would also like to continue to share the love of storytelling and share some of the love of modern storytelling. There's not a lot of great novels, or rather there is a lot of great novels, but there's also a lot of crappy ones out there, so it's hard to find good stuff to read, and I'd like to use my storytelling platform as a way to do that. So there's going to continue to be old lore and old myth and legends from cultures from all over the world here on the channel, and that'll probably be the bulk of the content. But I'd also like to start putting in some stuff from my passion, stuff that I discovered on my own as a kid, because that's what Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons were for me. They were what I discovered on my own that reinvigorated my love for storytelling after my falling out with my grandfather, and that's a story for another time. But I love these stories and I want to share them with you guys. And I also play Magic the Gathering Arena. I'm not sponsored by Magic or D&D. They don't have any idea I'm making these videos. But Magic the Gathering Arena is a free game that you can play online or on your phone. And it's something where I can play with you guys. I can teach you guys how to play. I can help you build decks. And we can just hang out together and play a game. And that's really what I love to do. So I'm inviting you. I will leave a link to Magic the Gathering Arena's download page down below. That's a little bit unusual. I don't make any money from this. There's no other reason for me doing this other than I want to interact with you guys and share the stories that I love. So, with that being said, stay bloodthirsty, my friends, and remember, all hail the Black Dragon.